Hello, Professor. I'm going to begin sharing my screen and we will I will be reflecting on some leadership development. Let's see here. All right. So I will be reflecting on leadership lessons from our four case studies, including Airbnb, Microsoft, Siemens, and John Deere farmers. And we'll be focusing on leadership, team leadership development, adapting to digital leadership and organizational preparedness and different team perspectives. And after reflecting on our selected case studies, we tend to notice a pattern supporting the need for fairness, building trust, and being adaptable in leadership development in this new age of AI. These leaders tend to prioritize the significance of fostering inclusivity and ethical responsibility in leadership development. Take Airbnb, for instance, their leaders, although they use AI tools to determine their pricing for their locations, they still make sure they instill fairness and inclusivity with those prices, and that helps build trust with their clients. Um, John Deere farmers, as much as people may think AI tools cannot be integrated into the farming industry, John Deere, they position AI as a tool to enhance their farming skills. And this is a great example of using transformational leadership to spark innovation and creativity. Together, we notice that the leadership growth is more than just a technical skill, but it's also about having that fairness, inclusivity, adaptability, and in turn guide change. Some strategies for adapting to digital leadership trends. These leaders they do use their different strategies to adapt to leadership trends, but one thing that we do notice is that they all tend to prioritize being transparent, having digital upskilling, and focusing or highlighting ongoing learning. For Simons, they shifted teams from being more reactive to proactive maintenance, and that helped with the digital literacy and also with trust. Take Microsoft, for example, they were able to set up a ethical committee called ETHER, which is an AI and ethics um, committee for engineers and research. It was founded in 2016, and they basically help, and it was founded by the first ever chief scientific officer of Microsoft, Eric Horvitz, and it was basically created to help advise them on recommendations on policies, processes, and best practices in AI. And it has been an amazing ethical standpoint for helping them maintain an ethical framework while exploring this new world of AI. Um, and for it just tends to show you that these ethical frameworks have to be built into digital leadership. The key takeaway here is that leaders have to invest in training their employees, training themselves, transparency, and ethical frameworks in order to maintain the credibility that they have as an organization. Lastly, to look at the different preparedment assessment and perspective, and look at different team perspectives, we can see that for Airbnb hosts, they might want to value inclusivity and fairness more than any other organization because that is what is tailored to their market industry. While for Simons, they might prioritize skill building readiness, um, ensuring that their engineers have the skill that they need to perform their daily operations, and that managers focus on their outcomes. Okay. And for Microsoft being a big company, their staff and their executives may have different perspectives. Their staff may value ethics and ethical safety, while their executives might value or see it more from a risk management point of view and how to avoid the company from losing any money or limiting their risk. All in all, It shows how leaders are flexible to meet their different perspectives while making sure that that alignment is there for everyone to be on the same page with that shared vision. And in terms of preparedness assessment, I would say with Airbnb and John Deere, they tend to be in the adoption stage where they prioritize communicating with their staff, with their clients, and that helps shape their trust and build that acceptance in their industries. With Simon, they tend to do that through skill building and training for their engineers. And with Microsoft, kind of like what I explained already, they're in a more advanced stage, and especially with their governance and ethical safeguards. All in all, preparedness works on different levels, but as long as there's fairness, there's inclusivity, there's digital literacy, these all will make long-term credibility in digital leadership development.